This is Tony Cole from Sketch of Soul Studios, and you are experiencing Poppitt's Corner.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Poppitt's Corner, the first of many on here. We haven't done one of these in a while, but I'd like to bring on, you know him, you love him, the one and only Mr. Shannon Fry. Shannon, how you doing, man? I appreciate a moment of your time.
Hey man, good to be back. Another new episode. Who knows where this one's going, but we'll figure that out.
Yeah, we'll just shoot the shit and just see where it leads. But before we even get started, how are you? How are things out in Shannon Fryland?
Things are interesting. I did a big move that I had to do that I didn't want to do, but it happened. It's basically a new chapter for me, so things are good. Uh, Played our first show back in fucking forever with my band, Avenger of Blood. And that went fucking amazing. Really, really fucking amazing. And other than
Now,
that,
how is Vegas? How is the scene like in Vegas though, compared to back then
I
when you guys
can't
were playing?
I
What?
can't really count this one show in a comparison yet. I'd have to play a couple more. This one we were the opening band, which wasn't very bright. The promoter sucked, but we fucking gave it our all, man, and the place was packed to the tits. And like after we were done, a good portion of the people left. I mean, not because we played and were done, but it was also a Thursday and people had to work. So but the crowd reaction, man, was insane. That's all. I don't know. It's different. It's different because I haven't done this in so long at this level, kind of. But yeah, fucking it's killer.
Now, in terms of how you guys prepared for this, I'm assuming because you guys obviously jammed every week. Was there something else that you kind of implemented now at especially this stage in the game that you maybe hadn't applied then?
What do you mean?
Well, I don't know. In terms of like your technique wise, is it different, or is it like just you getting more comfortable in terms of the logistics of things, arriving at the venue earlier, or
We were there quite early because we had to load in at a certain time. We had a certain load in time. That was, I was nervous because what it's been. Aside from this thing that I call the performance, which was just a benefit show for these people that lost their house in a fire. We had a half an hour then, we had a half an hour this time. We did the exact same set list, but that was a total different animal. You know, I guess that one was kind of to see if we can play together. This one was to kick open the doors and make shit happen. But as far as logistics and all that, no, it's just business as usual again, but in a way trying to adapt to how it is now. Because how it is now is not the same it was 6, 7, 8 years ago. That's kind of how long it's been since we played. So things are a lot different, especially after COVID. Everything's totally different.
in terms of what though? In terms of just the overall atmosphere, or in terms of because it seems like it's just interesting to me that no matter how long you guys have been around for, you still are treated not at the level that I was hoping for. But I don't want to put you in a terrible situation. But is there? I mean, am I reading too much into this, or or are there things that, again, how has it changed just from 6, 7, 8 years ago?
Basically, starting over. Like it's almost like, in one sense, you're back to being a fucking garage band. You know, in a sense, I mean, we've been away for so long that people forgot we were even existed. First off, and so we had to prove ourselves that way. And then we had to prove ourselves to this whole different crowd and this new crowd because a lot of people have moved here. Las Vegas has grown, quite big. So a lot of people that live here now didn't see us when we were in our heyday. You can call it a heyday, but what the heyday was, um, that part's different. Everything else is kind of the same. You know, get to the venue, you load, sound check, all that bullshit. The only thing that, I don't know, there used to be a lot of flyering and everything too here. Like, Vegas has always been kind of old school like that, going to the clubs and plastering people's cars with fucking tires. That don't really happen anymore. So that part's different too. I hope that answered your question, because
Well, yeah, and I'm talking in terms. So, like, let's go to where you and the guys. How are you guys adjusting to what's kind of happening now, just in terms of I don't know what kind of scene is out there. Do you have like a hardcore scene? Do you have like what is out in Vegas nowadays?
Vegas is a huge city with a small town mentality. So you have a certain amount of metal bands, a certain amount of punk bands, a certain amount of core bands. There's this new indie rock crap, and there's rap and hip hop stuff. Like, this is a well-rounded area. But no matter what, because it's Vegas, you're competing with everything on the strip too. Vegas is not really a metal community. It's a tourist attracted city. So people, I couldn't tell you how many, but I'm sure quite a bit came from out of town to that show. But then again, you're having to do Terry Fader. You have to compete with Terry Fader. That sounds stupid, but it's the truth. He's in Vegas, you're in Vegas, you're competing against everything going on. So having that crowd that was as big as it was for where it was really surprising and very cool.
Now, do you see in terms of a change with? I do want to get into some of the AI aspects and just I'd be curious to know as far as a live setting, how do you feel, or where do you feel that AI is going to play a part just in terms of the live city, or the live setting, I should say.
There won't be a live setting anymore unless you go to a bar and you just put on the jukebox again, whatever they call it these days. That's what it's going to be. Put in I want this kind of band, this kind of band, this kind of singer, this kind of whatever, and you make your own, and there you go.
So you don't think that people will actually want to go out and see a live show?
No, you're talking about AI. Do you think AI? This is what I got from your question. Will people go see an AI show if AI takes over? No, that part will be done.
Interesting.
The live band thing, that'll be around, but I think crowds will continue to dwindle.
I think that maybe the live band aspect would just be strictly like almost cover bands,
Hmm.
and not like originals. I'd be hard pressed again. I'm going to say it once again is like if I started this band today, I'd be in a world of hurt. I don't know how bands could start today. I feel really bad for them, you know. And people were saying that back when we were first starting. Now it's only gotten worse. Like, who knows what's going to happen in the next 10, 15 years, you know?
Right. Yeah.
So
It's hard to think
I only
about that.
can, like, again, I know that bands are starting out, but are they starting out in high school like us bands used to do? Is that just, or are they starting out when they're like 30? Is it cool to still play an instrument anymore? To still play rock music, like rock and metal music? Is that still cool to do?
To the younger generation, I have no idea.
Because don't forget too, like now that everybody's grown up with like social media, and again, it was just kind of starting out when we first started. So we were, kind of on the verge of it becoming what it is now. Fortunately and unfortunately, but yeah, today now that it's here, the next phase is the AI, and I don't know how that's going to how that's going to kind of change our community. Like if people are going to even just want to start a band, or if they're just going to type in a few keywords and that's their band.
Yeah, without them playing anything. See what I mean?
Yeah, well, yeah. I
Go to
mean,
the
and we've said it
machine
on
and
this.
type in the number.
Yeah, and we've said it on this podcast before, but all you need is just the AI art and the AI band, and you're set. Like you can literally just start a band and all AI. You don't even need players anymore. That's a scary thought, and I it's only going to get better.
Hmm.
The stuff that they have now is like it sounds good, so it's only going to get better from here.
Right. It
So
will.
yeah,
But that's
I'd be.
yeah, that's the hard
Mhm.
part. Then we're out of business,
Well, everybody is.
right?
Like all kinds of stuff, it would be out of business. Um, but it also would obviously benefit humanity too. There's always pros and cons to kind of everything, right? Because people were saying the internet was going to shut down everything with like Y2K.
Hmm.
Wasn't that a thing?
Hmm.
Like all the computers would crash
Yeah,
because we didn't know what was going on.
yeah,
So
and everyone was gonna die.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that was a thing. So I'd be curious how AI is just gonna transform into whatever it becomes. Obviously, whoever controls AI though controls the world.
Mhm.
That's fucking scary.
Mhm.
So yeah, man. But in terms of Adventure of Blood, what are you guys up to?
We start tracking vocals for some songs that we've been recording. So we start that very soon, and then learning slash relearning some of the songs off Death Brigade, so we can continue playing shows. Because now we're playing LA soon, and we're the headlining band. How that happened was crazy, but yeah, now we're the headlining band in LA, so we don't have a time limit, so we're just gonna play. We added 6 more songs to our set list, so some of them we have to learn, some of them we have to relearn, depending on who it is. Yeah, and then we're gonna start writing a new album.
I love it. Well, good. So more new music then, for either for this or next year.
Yeah.
It's exciting.
But we're all on
I'm glad.
fire for it, man. Where everyone's on the same page, and I'm glad we're all like gung ho about this shit. So there's no worries now. Everything is just smooth sailing. But the work's getting tough again. So, but that's what happens.
Well, yeah, like I said, I'm just glad that you guys are going to have new music, and in terms of next year, you can definitely expect a new Madrost album.
Hell yeah.
And yeah, I hope people are looking forward to that because I sure as heck am. And yeah, just keep up the great work, and I just appreciate you as a human being, and I appreciate a moment of your time just to come on and chit chat for a few.
Oh yeah, it's a good time. I always have
Always a good
fun.
time.
Yeah,
And this is kind of a short and sweet kind of thing. We just wanted to do like a little impromptu. We haven't seen each other in a while, and this is kind of just our excuse to hang and kind of get away from the grind that is life. So this is just what we do for fun. Um, and I just want to encourage all you guys out there, just keep fighting, keep doing the right thing, and just keep supporting metal if that's what you're into, or keep supporting whatever genre of music you like. But Shannon, tell everybody where people can find Avenger Blood or want to support the band.
you can come to Las Vegas and track us down. Other than that, you'll have to wait till we get there.
I love it. Well, for another episode of Poppitt's Corner, guys, we're out of here, and we'll see you very soon, I promise. So, cheers.